I mean, it took a while, but I finally did get to see Zora do something in this arc. Actually get to step up to the plate and perform. And even though it was in a very short period of time and or at a point where I assume this is going to be his only big highlight of this arc, because I mean, like, I don't expect him to really do anything after this move. Because I mean, this is impressive. It's good that he got this set up, but beyond this, I feel like he's gonna be tapped out. Like one hit from Musparo is gonna be putting like Nero or Zora like at death's door, pretty much. Just no getting up, no surpassing limits, just focusing on breathing. But as it were, this like the whole stuff with Yami, I liked the idea that Yami seems to have gotten stronger from having his connection with the underworld. I think it makes sense. I talked a little bit about it before, how if dark magic is the magic of the underworld, or it's connected to the underworld, then Yami, whose magic is dark magic, like if he's more connected to the source of where his magic comes from, wouldn't that make him stronger? And it seems to have done that. With William, I appreciate the fact that he did something that is more sacrificial. I'm still kind of hoping that we don't really see him, make it out of this arc. It is what it is, but we'll see about that. Giving Yami the sword was a big plus. I mean, it's just really cool. He gave him this highly magic, like I would assume condensed sword, if all of William's magic is in this one single spell. So Yami, who's buffed already, because like when he got healed by Gray, like beforehand she mentions that his magic is actually like extremely high right now, but his body is just all kind of like, worn down and everything from the ritual. So she fixes him. He uses Black Moon, and that's able to take away the enhanced gravity from the area around them. Besides that, I like the idea that like how it's playing off this for Yami in what I would say a very logical way, because not only does he have the whole way that he seems to have gotten a boost from the whole connection to the tree, but also he's got a buff sword from William to join in the fight. So he's not like rolling over Lucifaro or someone matching him. He's just able to contend with him pretty much at this point. And use like his Black Moon to like mess with gravity, and then not entirely stop, but like hold back Lucifaro's strength. Because once Lucifaro kind of did start actually pushing back after that first hit, he just sent Yami flying. And then when he goes for Asta, that's when Sekiri and Zora show up, and they do like a combo with his secret counter trap magic and her mana methods of sealing magic. And obviously this isn't gonna stop Lucifaro, but they're saying they're just trying to hold out for 30 seconds. If they can just kind of like put him inside of a seal, maybe for very brief moment. It'll depend. I mean, I think it would be fine if it just holds him for a short period of time, just because this is a very situational thing, and we know that complicated enough runes are able to kind of climb power levels way more than like regular rune enhanced spells. So this one, I'm just happy that they got a scene, and it's a scene that looks like it's going to end up holding pretty well and helpful for them. With Yami and Nox, like Nami had none, he had no time for any of Nox like whole suicidal hero kind of thing going on. I understand why he's doing it, but it's like, if you're doing it on your own, sure. But it's like Yami's clearly not going to be one to be okay with it. So like you're gonna have to put your stance aside on it while Yami's around. And even like having moments thinking back to like stuff with Morgan, you see some of the parts with like younger Yami and Noct. And I thought this was just a really cool thing between these two friends, how they kind of have like a short kind of like back and forth between them, between each other, but at the end of the chapter, they're kind of grouped back as they're prepared to go and fight Lucifaro. So this chapter, this was definitely an interesting setup one. I I didn't have a ton of really like stuff to say over like of the full structure of the chapter because most of it is between Yami and Noct. We know stuff about them. It's just kind of like moving their relationship back into like somewhat of a good area. The stuff with Lucifaro, Zora, and Nero was all really cool. I thought that was a really nice scene. And then the Mistletoe Blade, because I'm biased towards unique named weapons. Any series, if it's a cool looking unique design and it's got its own cool name, I have a extra bias opinion of said weapon. And Yami had his whole Black Bull katana before, but I mean like that was just the weapon he bought, like he had made for him by like a swordsmith. Whereas like this is a magic sword made by William, and we don't know like what it's fully capable of. And that to me is like the bigger hype thing going into this next fight. I don't expect Yami and Noct to really do anything. They're gonna have to like figure out how to get away from Lucifaro somehow before like anybody can really make it out of this arc. But that's just something that we're gonna have to wait for, and it's something for the future. So I like this one. Again, it was mostly a setup chapter, but it was one that I did really enjoy. I like getting the information we got with William. Zora moment was really cool, and then that last moment with Noct and Yami, it was pretty hype. I want to know what their combinational fighting style is, because we know that they fought together in the past, and I think their magic, shadow and dark, can really meld. Like you can have Yami send out a lightless slash, and then say Noct comes out of the attack to do something, like he's moving through the dark shadows of that attack. I don't know, something kind of wild in that manner. I don't know, it's a really intriguing kind of combo, but I mean, like, I still don't know what their plan is right now and how to get away. Like, how are they and Lucifaro, like their two respective parties, going to separate after this? Like, at what point are we going to get to the escape plan, or for whatever reason Lucifaro decides to leave? Something that will get the characters in a situation where they actually can, like, get away from this battle with their lives and rest and like figure out where to go from here. Because it's very clear that nobody on the Clover side right now can do anything to Lucifaro's 50%. Like, washed all the captains, Austin's Devil Union, Yuna's not doing anything. Julius is not in his prime, so like they can't even like bring crazy OP Julius as a factor. I don't think Julius would win, but I mean, like, you can't even really count it in that whole kind of idea of Clover Kingdom versus Lucifaro. He right now just completely runs over everybody they have. So the question is just what's going to happen to separate the two parties of the protagonists and the antagonists right now. What's going to make it so that either they leave, or the Clover side leaves, or maybe they end up getting teleported away. I don't know. It's a very odd situation of where things are going to go from here, because Lucifaro coming out was it's a piece on the board that you can't ignore, and it has to be addressed. And on top of that, because his personality, he isn't going to, like, as far as I know, he isn't gonna just like spare people. Like, we have to figure out like what's gonna happen for him to not just murder everybody here at the end of the day. We'll see. But anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, but for like and subscribe, and check out my other videos. For that, appreciate you guys subscribing. Thank you all for listening. Bye.